Hey, what's up, everybody? Rod J back again. What is going on? It is a holiday night and not doing too much on my end, so figure why not do another upload. If anybody's out there and you want to chime in, I'm actually going to take a look at one here from Avery Brewing. It is their 2018 edition of the 25, which is actually one of their anniversary ales. This one, it's a big boy beer. Comes in at 14.5% ABV, 31 degree Plato. And on the side, makes mention an ode to 25 years of dynamic, powerful, and odds-defying brews. This resurrection, a demonic proportion ascends to new heights by melding our massive, dark, and high-gravity virtues with future audacious ambitions. Peace to all and follow your dreams. So it is a Belgian-style oak-aged dark ale with honey, dates, and raisins. So I'm not sure how I'm going to fully feel about this one. I'm not a huge fan, I guess you could say, of dates and raisins, so to speak. Although in some of the dark ales, I do get the dark fruits that come through, so I've become rather accepting of those as part of the beer. Fix my microphone here for a second. But I'm interested to see how this one actually comes out. I've done the 22. I didn't do the 23 or 24. But Avery, as we know, does make some tasty brews for the most part. Nice big 22-ounce bottle, so this will be the nightcapper at some point here. But you say, what the heck? It's a holiday tomorrow, so let's go ahead, get this baby into a glass and check it out. Obviously, 14.5% ABV. I'm going to actually use a nice snifter glass here, which you use for your larger ABV beers. Helps to open up some of the aromas. And it's set to be there for you to enjoy over a period of time. So get that up there so that way it'll be in the background. And if you weren't here earlier on the last video, a happy Thanksgiving to you. We got to pour it into the glass. Came out with about initially a half finger head or so. It's about a quarter finger right now. A lot of times with higher ABV beers, the head doesn't hold as long, so no big surprise there. The head is kind of fading away, but even though on the surface it looks faded away, it can still leave some nice lacing. Nice dark color. I get a light behind it up here. And I do get a little bit of a reddish tint down in the bottom, kind of like a mahogany type wood. So we do have that in place. So I'm not going to call it jet black. Aroma wise, you do get the dark fruits that are in play. You do get kind of a plum type feel coming through in the nose. A little bit of a sweetness in there. Definitely pick up a little bit of a booziness. Do you get some of that raisins? A little bit of a licorice type feel as well. Taste wise, it is smooth. Almost a little bit of a prune type feel in the beer. You definitely pick up kind of a fig type feel. Those dark type fruits are in play. You feel a little bit of a sugary type feel in the texture. You can feel it nicely sticking inside the cheek area in the mouth. A nice duration of the flavor is taking place on this one. Definitely one that you want to take your time with, kind of as a smooth sipper. I'm not getting as much of the booziness coming through that I would expect to get. Again, this is a 14.5% ABV beer. You smelled it on the nose a little bit, but in the taste, It's kind of hidden there some. You can pick up the feel of it being barrel aged as well. A little bit of a woodiness there, a little bit of a candied sugar type feel. Texture wise, has a little bit of a syrupy type tone to it. But it is a smooth beer. You know, Avery does this as an anniversary beer. It's a nice representation of what they can actually brew. Now, some people do knock on Avery now, since they are also under Mount San Miguel. Technically, not seen as being a craft brewery now, because they don't meet the Brewers Association definition. But what do you do with those beers? You have somebody like this under Mount San Miguel who still makes well-crafted beers, but you're not supposed to call them craft beer, but yet they're craft beer. One of those things. So then it becomes, do you accept the definition of the Brewers Association? Is that what determines what you describe as a craft beer? Or do you just go by what you feel something being a craft beer? Just something to ponder there. I will say this has a taste to it that you'd almost have to be more of a distinguished beer drinker. That, hey Erie, cheers! Decided to do another video here. You have to be almost a distinguished beer type drinker to actually pull some of the flavors from this one. I think for your average beer drinker, it can be a little bit overpowering. It's not definitely what to be expected as a beer for people just kind of getting into it, or just liking your baseline of your lager type beers. But for someone that likes Belgian type ales, someone that's been in the beer game for a bit, this is very smooth. And Erie, I'm actually talking about one from Avery Brewing. This is their 25, which is their anniversary edition that they did for their 25 years back in 2018. It's a Belgian style oak aged dark ale with honey, dates, and raisins. So a little bit different. No coffee in this one, Erie, but it's got a great feel to it. But as I was just saying there when you came in, it's almost a thing that your palate has to be ready to accept a beer like this, just because it's not something that a lot of people that are just your baseline beer drinkers are going to probably appreciate as much. It's kind of like a barley wine. When you first start drinking beer and when you jump into a barley wine, you just may not be ready for it. And I know people that didn't like barley wines the first time they had them, and they love barley wines now. It's just something you work up to. Getting all fancy. No, I mean, it's one of the styles out there. My favorite style of beer is mainly a lot of the Belgian ale style beers. The Belgian dark ale is one of those, and I wouldn't always say it's fancy. It's just, it's different. Well, maybe it is fan. I mean, again, it's the monks over in Belgium. They know how to make good beer, and we've been able to adapt that style. How are you going to drink coffee right now? It's like 11:17. You're like in the same time zone as I am. Are you still like up doing stuff? How are you going to go to sleep if you're sitting there drinking coffee? But you can find this one out there on some shelves still. Obviously, it holds for a period of time at that high ABV. I didn't see a date on the bottle, which is something that I'm not a fan of when they don't date their stuff. But at 14.5% ABV, you're going to be okay. You can let this go for a little bit of time with this type of style. And really, a lot of your Belgian type styles, even at lower ABVs, can go for a bit. Cheers, Mary. Yeah, fancy. All right, you and Erie are both calling me fancy now. It's just a higher grade of beer, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, it is nice. It's kind of one, I had to break the snifter glass out for this one to sit back and enjoy. I kind of wish I had a cigar to actually enjoy with it. That would pair up very nicely. This one versus the one I did earlier is not as sweet, which is nice. I'm being cheap and hand painting ornaments. Again, the Christmas tree for tomorrow, right? The Christmas tree is way too early for the Christmas tree. It should be at least the day after Christmas, not on Thanksgiving. Hey, there's nothing wrong with painting them. You paint your own ornaments, then that's just you bringing your own style to it. That's actually kind of cool. Just like, instead of going out and buying a store-bought thing, you're adding your touch. So nothing wrong with that at all. But I guess you're going to be up for a bit, which is why you're drinking a little bit of coffee right now. Now, is Alan going to help you paint those ornaments, or are you just painting them all yourself? Or you got the kids helping you out? Kids and paint can be a dangerous thing, by the way. I do pick up the raisin in there as well. It leaves a nice amount of flavor on the lips, too. This one isn't as sweet as the one I had earlier, which is nice. Not fully to a dessert type beer level, but it is one that would be an after dinner type beer. It would be good for something like that. But I could probably enjoy this with like some pecan pie or something like that. We were going all Nightmare Before Christmas tree and everyone thinks we lost our mind. That's pretty cool. Nah, just you, huh? It's great that you have a theme now that you're actually going with. So that's like a fun type thing. Living room and paint on my living room floor grease. Well, that's why they make rugs, right? Cover it up. Cover it up till you can get it up. Yeah, the lingering after effect of the beer is actually pretty nice here. I never thought I would like a beer, or as many beers that actually use dark fruits, and just like coconut. I've been surprised in the beer world that there are some beers out there that I like now that just never thought I would. And when you talk about the parts of the beer used that I don't like individually, but in the beer they come together for me nicely. Oh, my living room and paint on my living room floor, yeah. Carbonation on it is actually pretty subdued, so it's not overly carbonated by any way. It's got just enough of it that you do feel the bubbles on your tongue. A little bit of a astringent factor that makes you want to suck your lips a little bit. Thankfully, it's wood and it will come out, but won't try that again. May need some vodka in my coffee after letting the kids help to begin with. There you go. I've never done vodka in coffee. I would think with coffee, something like rum would be kind of interesting to put in coffee as well. I just got a feeling that rum would actually blend kind of nicely. Of course, if you got a cold or you're not feeling well, a little whiskey and tea always tends to work. Little hot toddy action, so to speak. I will try some of Alan's beers, and some are amazing, and some are like, what is this? And I've never been a beer person. Yeah, so that's the thing with beer. There are so many beer styles out there that most people don't even realize it. My wife tended to be the same way. Wasn't as huge into beers. She likes liquor. She likes wine. but she's found beers now she actually enjoys too. So when we go out, it's pretty much I know her palate enough that I can pick beers that she actually likes and enjoys. She likes a lot of the different styles of lagers, for instance. She's now started to like some of the sours that I've gotten her into. But it's just the experimenting and fun now thing. She likes a lot of the wheat ales, and that's the whole thing with beer. You can just do so many different things to kick back and enjoy and try. And someone says, I don't like beer. And it's like, really? What kind of beers have you had? Or what kind of beers have you tried? Or what don't you like? And a lot of times it's the macro beers they've tried. And then you get them with something that they've never had before. They can't believe it's beer. It's like my day job last year, they had us do a couple of beer tastings at work. And we had people, they actually allowed us to bring in beer. And we had people over lunch do like a lunch and learn about beer and then let them sample different types of beers. And some of them that were not beer drinkers could not believe what they were drinking was actually beer. There's a lot of different stuff happening with it. Some of the New England IPAs are like drinking juices. I mean, it doesn't even feel like you're drinking a beer. That's why a lot of guys, when they do chugging videos, and I say guys in a general sense, guys and gals both do it, they'll chug those New England IPAs because they're easy. They're like juice. Bailey's rum, coffee, country. Oh, yeah. See, there you go, Mary. That's what I'm talking about. And I do like a good Irish coffee. In fact, we're going out tomorrow night for dinner for Thanksgiving, and a lot of times when I have like a big dinner or something like that and we're at a restaurant, for my dessert, I'll have like an Irish coffee rather than a piece of pie or a piece of cake or anything along those lines. Just a nice Irish coffee at the end is a great dessert to have. I've had some Baileys and coffee before. Yeah. Baileys and coffee, little whipped cream on it. Yeah, make a nice little Irish coffee out of it. Beer man, what is up, dog? What is going on? Hey, Rod, shoot, I gotta get on my stream soon. LOL, I want to hit that like and share you out. Cheers, have a great Thanksgiving. Much love, everyone. Hey, thanks for swinging by, Beer Man. I'll check you out if you're going to be live here. I did a live stream earlier and decided to do another one. Wasn't really doing too much. I stopped to watch the West Virginia game and decided to crack open another big beer. I said I'll just do another stream. There's nothing really on TV. I was going to do maybe a little gaming on the gaming channel that I have, but I was figure I'd do some beer first. Beer Man, your channel's always rock, sir. Cheers. Are you doing some of your gaming over there? Your games and your trivia type stuff on your stream? I thought about doing like some gaming stuff or trivia on this stream. I just hadn't pulled anything together on it, so I should do something like that. I thought about doing some music trivia. Excellent. The spontaneous is the best. Yeah, right? Spontaneous can be good. Something goes haywire or crazy. I did the one video a couple nights ago, and I had a little bit of a beer explosion where the beer kind of came out of the bottle a little too quickly. Was not expecting that, so that was a nice little surprise on a live episode. I enjoy the live. I like just kicking it and just talking and enjoying, having the tunes playing in the background. Again, that's one of the things I used to love when I was on the radio. Watching my 600-pound life, thinking after dinner tomorrow may be on the show, on that show. LMAO. Oh, this got Cards Against Humanity and a movie quiz game. There you go. Are you doing that tonight, or the Cards Against Humanity, or the movie quiz game? Yeah, music trivia sounds fun. Yeah. Hey, Cuff and stuff. What's going on? It's been a while. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you, my friend. Cheers, brother. Oops, explosion. Yeah, so I caught it in time where it wasn't too crazy, but it was enough that like caught me off guard. Cuff and stuff. You drinking anything tonight, or how's your Thanksgiving planning going? Are you doing a barbecue turkey or anything along those lines? Yes, tonight I'm going to see how it works. All right, I'll try to swing by there. Obviously, I don't work tomorrow, so I'll be around for a bit. So if you don't know Beer Man, make sure you check him out. He's actually out in Oregon, so he's on the West Coast. He's 3 hours behind me, so for him, it's only like 8:29. But that'll be some cool stuff to check out. And you can hit the 3 dots next to his name, and that will take you to his channel as well. And woohoo, you got one left. Beer Hound, my man, what is going on? So Beer Hound out in the OC, he's been drinking the Stone Enjoy by 1119 tonight. So he's down to, I guess, his last one. LOL. Hey, Rod, your turkey thawed. What's up, James? How you doing, my friend? Happy Thanksgiving to you. We are actually going out tomorrow night for dinner. So we have a place here. It's called like Prime 51. Or is it 52? I can't remember the number exactly. But we went there last year when my mom was in. They did a Thanksgiving thing. So we'll go there and they got like a ham, turkey, blah, blah, blah dinner that they actually do. So we're going out tomorrow, which is great for no cleanup after dinner. So don't have to worry about any of that. But then again, I don't have any leftovers. So whatever I get at the restaurant, that's it. So went to the store today to pick up some other stuff to have around the house to snack on in case I get hungry. What, man, I gotta get sorry, really I am. I much love. Yeah, you too, my friend. I understand. Get that stream rolling. I'll talk to you soon, Beer Man. Blanton's tonight will start a turkey early. Are you doing anything, cuff and stuff where you're like smoking the turkey, or are you just going straight oven, or just kind of curious? I know you're doing the barbecue stuff if you're doing it a certain type of way. And if you are doing it tomorrow, are you going to live stream it that people can check into your channel and catch your live stream on the making of the turkey? But what about you, James? Is your turkey thawed, or are you guys going out, or you got family in? How are you guys doing Thanksgiving tomorrow? How's everybody doing Thanksgiving tomorrow? Are other people drinking tonight for Thanksgiving because they know they got family tomorrow? I know there's some people out there doing it. Stick burner. Okay. So with the stick burner, are you putting a turkey on something and it's kind of like on a spit or whatever? I'm just not familiar with the stick burner. Just roasting some pork tenderloin, having some friends over. Well, that works too. That works too, yeah. I'm trying to think, we've done Cornish hens in the past. We've done turkey before. We've done steak sometimes. Maybe one of the years we did Chinese, but we've done different things and stuff like that. It's just, now we're just to the point where we just go out and do something. Although I say we, but usually I do all the cooking anyway. So that's another one of my hobbies. I like to cook. Although I don't really put that on video or anything. I probably could. I mean, I did one video on the beer chili, but I do enjoy cooking at times. Tonight was actually a night where I just made Philly cheesesteaks because I wanted something quick and to be done with and satisfying. So I made some Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. They were good, though. They were good. Just going to be me and my little turkey and a 6-pack of something and my cassette tapes. There you go. So what do you have like with your cassette tapes, Beer Hound? Like what are you listening to on the cassette tapes, like for the music and everything? You just kicking back and chilling. And James said we did roast beef and Yorkshire pudding last year. Ooh, that sounds pretty good too. I haven't had Yorkshire pudding in a long time. Usually I get that at like one of our pubs that we have here, one of our pub restaurants. No live, dropped a turkey vid last week. Okay, offset wood burner. Okay, cool. I had some barbecue earlier this week. We have a spot where we live at down the street from us, and the wife was craving some barbecue, and I said, you know what, I haven't had barbecue in a while, so we went down there and we got some ribs, and then I got some. They make this sausage where they have jalapeno and cheese in it, which is awesome. So I got some of that, and then I got some brisket. So there are problems. You go to a barbecue place, it's like you haven't been there in a while, and it's like it all looks so good. It's like, give me this. And I got home. By the time I got home, I had too much food, but it lasted for a few days. So in a way, I didn't have too much food. It saved me from going out a couple days later. I do love some good barbecue. All right, cool. Metalhead all day. Got you. I used to listen to some metal back in the day, back when I was doing a radio DJ in the 90s, because our radio station that I was on in college was an alternative station. So we did a lot of stuff back in the early 90s. We would play different things that were ranged in different areas, and then you'd have specialized shows later on. But growing up as an MTV kid, Headbangers Ball and all that stuff, I used to watch some of that stuff there, and some of the different things that would be on MTV as well. Testament, favorite band, had a tattooed on my body. Well, that's saying that is your favorite band if you have a tattoo. I actually need to get another tattoo. I've got 2 tattoos. I got one on this arm here, which I don't know if you can see that there. Well, try to see how the way it turn. But this is like a panther tattoo. And then on this one, I got another like panther tattoo. But I've been debating getting another tattoo for a while. I just need to find some time to go actually get it done. My favorite animal is actually like panthers, so that's what I actually got. I feel like sometimes like the panther's kind of a spirit animal for me. For whatever reason, I've always loved panthers. What's happening, Alan? Cheers, my friend. I know they're not metal, but I know a lot of people are really pumped that Rage Against the Machine is getting back together next year, so they're going to be doing some touring, so that'd be pretty cool. I feel like in some ways, like metal has kind of fell back, kind of like hip hop in a kind of way, and like growing up, like in the 80s and 90s, there really were similarities between how it was received between metal and hip-hop, but I feel like both were kind of like just so against the corporate structure, and mainstream kind of killed both of those in a way and drove them more back to the underground again. But if it's good music, I can listen to it. Tats are addicting. Yeah, they can be for sure, and I think if I get another one, I'll probably get it like on the chest, but I do want to get like another panther. I see these different panther designs that I like, and I don't know why. I mean, I just always kind of felt that way. I will say when I was younger as a kid, one of my favorite movies that I watched was a movie called Cat People, where these humans like turned into Black Panthers. And it was just like, I don't know. And I read about the panther, and some of the similarities is kind of like some of how they live their life and stuff in the wild is kind of like, I don't know, I just saw stuff in it. Schoolie D all day, there you go. Schoolie D out of Philadelphia, and I grew up in New Jersey, 20 minutes out of Philly. But yeah, Schoolie D was actually pretty big there. And for a while, like people say, Schoolie D, I don't know, he might have been, some people consider him to be the true, like, first ever, like, so-called gangster type rapper or whatever, but all that stuff's up for debate, because I know Ice-T did on the West Coast as well. But Schoolie D, I can remember being in high school and hearing his first tracks, like PSK and all that stuff, and it was just like, this guy is like different. He's on a different level. He's just on a different level, so you can always tell good music and stuff, though. Like, almost it raises the hairs on your arms. He said, Alan, are you copying me? Where Erie goes, Alan goes. Yeah, with my fat gold chain. See, you know some of that too. So, like I said, it's kind of the reason I think back in the day you could have some of the different groups doing shows where it might be something like a metal type band or something like that, but you might have a hip hop band there opening for them or vice versa or something. It was just kind of like there was a crossover in there to be found between the different styles. I would love to see them put together a show where it's like Public Enemy and Rage Against the Machine. I think that would be a kick-ass show. He said, not tonight, she didn't. Why are you painting ornaments with her, Alan? She's painting the ornaments and you're not painting any, she says. It's just her. 'Twas the night before Christmas. I do like that theme, 'Twas the night before Christmas, though. I used to think I could break and pop LOL. Here's the thing, Beerhound. Everybody did back in the day, you know. Oh, back in the day, you hear a song come on, and you just be like, "Give me a piece of cardboard." You know, you put on a windbreaker and thought you could windmill and break dance and stuff. Oh, those were funny back in the day. Right? Yeah, right? I'm like, why isn't he helping you out? Yeah, that was a different time. It was a fun time. It was definitely I mean, nowadays, some of the music I hear, I don't even know. I don't know. My wife says I'm becoming like that old curmudgeon kind of guy, but I swear the music nowadays, now that we hear now coming on the radio, it doesn't really say anything. It doesn't like stand for anything for a lot of this stuff. You have a few artists out there that are doing things, for instance, but the majority of it, and that's how I think the corporate media that runs a lot of this music, they want it to be. They don't want people getting those kind of ideas. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, think of the punk rock movement and the ideas that were out there about challenging the establishment and doing other things to actually stand up and fight back. And you don't get that in a lot of music nowadays. I'm in here with her now and she ain't painting. I tell you, she likes you more. Maybe it's the voice. I've been told I have a soothing voice, Alan. Too short. Oh yeah, I'm cringing, LOL. My music playlist is all older music. New music is horrible. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like some of the stuff now compared to some of the old music, I mean, it just doesn't have all of the pop to it. It doesn't have some of the messaging, some of the wording to it. A lot of it doesn't stand for anything that I've seen. Now, again, this isn't like take out some of the artists that are actually doing some stuff, but when you look at the main radio play, it's kind of just frivolous type things, in my opinion. Artists like K Rhino, More Technique, yeah, but exactly, Alan. But the problem is, you don't hear those artists on the radio. That's not the ones that get the playtime. You have to go out and seek them underground for the most part. Just like people were pointing out to you to go check them out as well. Like Immortal Technique, I've known about him for a few years. I used to always listen to some of the stuff that he was doing, but it wasn't something I was going to hear on a local radio get played. To find good music today, you need to hunt for it, right? And even back in the day, it was very rare that you would hear something like maybe a Public Enemy song on the radio because it challenged the status quo in so many ways. And when you challenge the status quo, who pays for the radio? The advertisers. They don't want to have those type of things out there. What's up, Jeremy? Yeah, I came back live. I decided to crack open another beer. I'm actually drinking the Avery Brewing 25. So this is the 25th anniversary from Avery Brewing. For everybody, if I didn't mention it when you were here, Belgian style oak aged dark ale with honey, dates, and raisins. This baby, 14.5% ABV. So that one might catch up to some people. Yeah, right. So you wouldn't know about him without switching your channel focus, and that's the thing. There's people that are doing the sound underground that aren't getting the radio play. For years, and I'll use like the Wu-Tang Clan. They were cutting records. They were distributing themselves out of trunk of cars when they came out, but you didn't really hear them on the radio and stuff. But you knew about them if you were in that area, or if they were starting to get their music out to certain areas where you were happen to be close to. And you've had that with metal bands, you've had that with punk rock bands. It's just the way it is. So a lot of the good music will raise things. I was watching a special on Motown a few months ago, and they were talking about Marvin Gaye's song, What's Going On? And Motown didn't want Marvin Gaye to release that song because they thought it raised too much questions about society and everything. And he pretty much had to get it done in a way that they didn't want to go along with, but by then it was already out. So it's like, you think about the classic Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, how it is now, how it's a classic, and they tried to stop him from even releasing it. And working in radio, you found out a lot of these all these music companies, some of the shadiness that they actually do. Well, even radio, because radio would dictate what you could actually play. So that would come out as well. I gotta go back. I missed some comments here. Let me go back up. I didn't realize there were so many comments coming through. Maybe this beer is getting to me. Let me see here. Still find good artists today, but not as easily as during the golden age. I agree, James. Yeah, it's not as easily. They're definitely a little bit more buried. Here he says, I'm just waiting for my spray paint to dry, so boom in your face. Beerhound, yes, have I ever considered reacting to music? I haven't done anything on a reaction video. Now, I did start another channel, and it's called, what is it called? That's a good question. Let me grab my phone here so I can actually see. Because I was actually gaming on it for a while, but I kind of got away from the gaming because of this whole COPPA thing. I don't know if I'm going to do gaming on that channel anymore. So I kind of got rid of it, and I was going to do like movie trailers. But it's called Rod J Media. And on my list there of the videos on my page, it actually is listed there. But I never thought about doing the music reactions. I know Alan on his channel, The Eclectic Beard, if you get a chance to check it out, he does a lot of good reaction videos to music. So I would definitely say make sure you subscribe to him. It might be something I'll take a look at some point. I almost want to do it, though. If I do the reaction videos, I would like to maybe do it like in a way where it's like some of the old school music and talk about the music that was actually put into it and what maybe not in music nowadays that you're not hearing. So you may have given me a good idea there, Beerhound. I may have to use that for the other channel as well. Let me see here. And Avery, I definitely agree. Most of the music today sounds so much alike, or it's the same concept, because they're cookie cutting all this music. It's they find these artists and try to keep them similar, and they shuffle them like through like their deck of cards or whatever. There's not much of an individuality jumping out. And it was just what? It was, and she's done some good stuff. I forgot who it is now. Who's that artist? She was just named like Artist of the Decade or something. Oh shoot. Why can I not remember her name? Taylor Swift. I think it was Taylor Swift that was Artist of the Decade. Taylor Swift does some good music and she does some good things, but is she really like Artist of the Decade? I mean, there's a lot of good artists that say more about their stuff and things, I think, but I don't know. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the Avery Mahara is actually damn good as well. Haven't had that in a bit, but I do like that one too. Yeah, 14.5. Woo. Well, you cause ripples and the government will find a grassy knoll, right? Yeah, I mean, they try to limit what you can say and do on some stuff. I mean, they definitely put the squeeze on stuff, on trying to stop people from actually causing those kind of things. Remember, all of our freedoms aren't necessarily absolute freedoms. They do put squeeze on some of them. Reacted to treatment for me was very cool reaction. Yeah, so yeah, I was doing some great stuff on that one. I got to release a video for K Rhino Annihilation of the Evil Machine, which is an awesome allegorical song about the government. Oh, cool. That sounds pretty cool. That's pretty deep. St. Vincent is one of my favorites. And Beerhound, I'm going to record more treatment reactions. Just damn, my channel focus has slightly changed yet again thanks to the Cybertruck. Yeah, Alan's got a lot of good stuff coming his way. Alan, if you haven't seen the Eclectic Beard, he did a reaction to the Cybertruck from Tesla, Elon Musk, and just blew up like crazy. So he's kind of been on this path now, dealing with the Cybertruck and doing response, which is great. He's definitely tapped a nice chord there. So hey, if people were into it, I would definitely keep rolling with it for sure. The thing about YouTube is always finding out how you want to actually operate. It's kind of like I was asked about doing wine videos on this channel, and it's like, don't know how I can tie wine into the beer as much. I can do whiskey and tie it in a little bit because whiskey is beer before it's whiskey, so that makes a little bit more sense. Wow, 19,200 views. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Keep rolling, brother. That's bigger than my biggest video. I think my biggest video is like just under 13,000 views, so you were the man, my friend. Like I said, within 2 weeks, you might be at 1,000 people already because you went up like 200 like in a couple of days, like the last few days. Why not? Oh, Jeremy with the dad jokes. There you go. I probably should do some wine videos because somehow, I don't know how, but on FeeSpot's list, I'm actually listed as a top 50 wine tuber for YouTube. Even though I don't really do wine or don't do wine, I do barley wines. So maybe the algorithm thinks the barley wines are actually wines, but I do enjoy a good wine. I almost bought I was trying to find a Shiraz earlier today. Couldn't really find one at the store I was at, so I didn't get it. But wines are cool too, so. Back when I used to bartend, I kind of developed an appreciation for everything, beer, wine, liquor. Except back then, I was bartending like in the early 90s, and it was still more of a macro scene because a lot of the craft beer wasn't hitting yet, and we didn't have the Sierra Nevada type stuff here. Alan over 900 now, so maybe one by tomorrow. Yeah, man, he is the fastest growing person I know. I think right now. That's awesome. Actually hit 500 subs on Jeremy's Monday stream and already over 900. Yeah, so congrats. That is awesome. You were rolling, my friend. Said Alan is on a quick pace. Wines are pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, there's actually a chart. I think I mentioned it on the other stream earlier tonight. I'm going to post it on, I think, the community tab that I have. And it shows if you're a beer drinker, which wine you may actually be attracted to, which is a nice little thing to see. So for those that might be looking to say, well, I like this wine usually, what beer might I be attracted to? I'm going to put something out there for that. Although my style that I like the most right now is really Shiraz. Oh, you're welcome, brother. You deserve it. You went back, dude, you did the work, you researched, you came up with the idea on how you wanted to flip the script, and you put in all the effort, so you deserve it, my friend. You're coming out great, and you got nothing else but the bill to keep going forward, my friend. Ah, Moscato. Jeremy's a Moscato man. You know what, Jeremy? I almost bought the Crown Royal Salted Caramel tonight. At the store I was at, I was looking at it. I was like, do I really need this? But it's like the beer. I've got liquor here that I need to really kind of work through. But really, can you have too much liquor? I mean, if you're setting up to have a nice little bar at the house, I don't think. I guess you really can't. So I mean, I could have got it added to the collection. I may pick it up this weekend because I definitely want to try it. But with that salted caramel flavor, I'm afraid I'm going to run right through that thing. And I do like Moscato as well. I do like Cab. Cab is probably my second behind Shiraz as well. And I like Malbec too. I'm more of a red kind of guy, I guess. Oh, why not, Rajay? Is great, right? Why not? Because I have enough alcohol in the house. That's why not, Jeremy. It's like I was telling, if you guys don't know No Hype Beer Reviews, Kyle's channel, I would definitely recommend checking out his channel. Kyle does some great beer reviews, has a great beer selection. But I was telling him the other day, he was posting stuff, and I'm like, his whole thing looks like it's a beer store behind him. He has so much beer on his shelves that he still has to go through from where he shoots his video. It's just like he has like a beer, like you can walk in there, but like, I take a bottle of that, I take a bottle of that, I take a bottle of that. How much do I owe you? Can't have too much unless you run out of room. Well, you raise a good point there, Cuff. You raise a good point. Well, the thing is, if you get the liquor, you're usually in pretty good shape, right? If you get the beer, make sure it's stuff you can keep around. Nobody wants a 5-year-old wheat ale, right? So you got to make sure if it's beer, it's stuff that you can actually age and it's not going to hurt it, or it may possibly improve it. So just got to keep track of all that good stuff. Wine, we know wine will last around for a bit, so you're in good shape there. It's funny, I was watching, I don't know if you guys watched The Walking Dead at all, but I was watching that the other night. We were watching like the latest episode. And one of the guys was actually camcorder videoing an event. And I'm like, where do they get the damn battery for the camcorder? And then they showed it was like wired up to a car battery and all that stuff. But I'm like, how the hell do they still have a car battery? None of the cars they find actually work. There's plot holes in that show at this point, but it's kind of like that candy bar card for a sandwich card where you've got like 9 punched in, but you have to go one more time to get that 10th one to make it all worth it. So like I'm hooked into the end at this point. Hans, what is going on, my friend? Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving to you down in Miami. Hope you're enjoying something nice, getting ready for some good food tomorrow. If you are getting ready for some good food. Watching Pure Stock Vintage Drags. So here's a question. As far as the beer, what are some of your guys' favorite styles of beer to actually drink or enjoy? If you know the styles of what the beers are you usually like. Like, are you guys more IPA, stouts, porters, saisons? There are styles that you really like more than others? I'm just kind of curious as I bring more stuff to the channel to see what kind of stuff a lot of you guys actually like as well. Thank you. And yes, a lot of food ready for that tryptophan, right? You'll be out by the second football game. Yeah, luckily today was nice because I got out of work early, which was nice. Hopefully Friday I'll get out early as well, which will be nice. Alan, okay, stouts, and then Beer Hound, Imperial Stouts and double IPAs. Yep, IPAs and saisons for Hans, Pale Ale guy, and then. Hi, Avery. Okay. And I like stouts, and while I love the New England IPAs, I like a balanced dank one as well. Love stouts. Okay, I like all styles, but I can only drink one. It would be a lager. All right. Now with the lager, though, James, you have your lager you really only have two styles of beer. You have a lager and an ale, but then everything is a subset of that style. So with the lager, like I drank with James before in Chicago, so I would say like you're probably thinking like something like maybe like a Vienna type lager or something along those lines. And then maybe it's funny. Let's see. So I'm saying Erie, I'm thinking you guys are. I can't remember. Alan told me you guys are going out, or you guys are having people come there. Favorite Yeti Imperial Stout, the Lagunitas, and it gets shut down. Never get tired of. Yeah, that's two good beers right there, Beer Hound. The Imperial Stout is pretty solid from them, and Lagunitas Investigative Shutdown. Like New England IPAs, but they're too similar in different breweries and too sweet. I get tired of them. I can get fatigue from New England IPAs. Yeah. Funny thing about the Lagunitas Investigative Shutdown is that I actually met the guys from Lagunitas, and when that beer actually came out, okay, going to the parents, sorry. When that beer came out, they were telling me, I was like, we were at one of our beer fests in Cincinnati, and they said, oh yeah, you gotta try our new beer that we have here. And it was really good, and then the guys I know from Lagunitas were telling me this whole story about it, and they literally were shut down for like a week when they tried to sell to an undercover agent, which was kind of funny. So there is truth in that title, in case you were wondering about the shutdown, because they were being investigated and someone tried to sell that person something. So, but a good beer usually comes out every February, I believe. Definitely would say pick it up. So you go to the parents, do you guys have to bring anything? Is it like the parents are making all the food, Erie, or you got to bring a side dish, or? Because sometimes when you go to Thanksgiving dinners, people have to bring stuff. Sometimes it's all prepared. They just say, bring yourself. I feel like if they tell you to bring yourself, they might fear like you can't cook, though. Oh, no. Just calm. You don't have to worry about anything. Jeremy, yes, I've been pulling on it for almost 3 weeks now. It's amazing. Oh, yeah, the brown sugar, yeah. That's out here, too. So that is a good one. Oh, they're making everything. Yeah. Well, maybe, I'm not going to say they're afraid you're cooking anything. I'm just saying sometimes if they tell people don't bring anything, it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes they think that people can't cook or whatever, but maybe it's just the courteousness of it. Just bring your, My wife is addicted to watching the live streams now. Nothing wrong with that, as long as she's watching mine. Doctor put me on dark beer before bedtime for kidney stones. Had gone from 4 stones a month to none for 5 years. Oh, wow. Really? So, something with the dark malts, maybe? Because really your dark beer is just using darker type malts. Dang, I get those again. Awesome stuff. Yeah, it's a good beer. And they even got one of my kids tonight. Man, you are winning. Hashtag winning for Erie. My parents love to cook. That's awesome. I hardly ever watch regular TV now. To myself, Alan, only YouTube mainly. Yeah, I watch certain shows, but mainly it's sports, and then I try to watch YouTube and stuff like that. Honestly, I should get rid of cable, and I've been trying to get the wife to get rid of cable, and everything we kind of watch, we can really watch on the computer. We just haven't pulled the plug to actually do that. But right now, I actually got Forged in Fire on TV, and I like Forged in Fire for whatever reason. I don't know any forgers, but it's interesting how they build these swords or knives or daggers or whatever they have to do for these different competitions. Yeah, it's definitely good looking. It's going down easily. 14.5 ABV. I'm feeling a little bit of warmth inside. It's definitely working pretty good. YouTube is the only thing playing in our house. And actually now with YouTube, you can just play the YouTube right to the TV, right? So you don't even need the TV stations. You just put YouTube on your main TV. However, let me see here. Jeremy, I watched The Mandalorian, College Ball, and YouTube. See, I've never been a big Star Wars fan. I've just never really got it. As a kid, I went to see The Empire Strikes Back, which I did like The Empire Strikes Back. I didn't see Star Wars until after that. It just never really resonated with me. The Jedi came out after that. I wasn't big into the Return there. Tried to give it a second go. My wife wanted to go to the movie when they brought out the other ones. Ended up going to the movie with Jar Jar Binks, and I was like, what are we watching right now? But The Mandalorian looks like it's a really good show, and if I was going to watch Star Wars stuff again, that would be the show I would definitely tune into. Since that's my show, Avery said as well. YouTube is pretty awesome. Have a few systems we stream with. And see, right now, like I said, I'm hooked into watching The Walking Dead because I got to see that out to the end because it's like the sub card, as I mentioned already. But I'm watching Watchmen. Watchmen is off the chain. That's a good show. I watched Silicon Valley because that's pretty damn funny on that show. Most of my other shows, I think, went to break that I was watching. I watched Peaky Blinders on Netflix because that's a great show. But all the other shows I kind of watch on Netflix too now I think about it. So regular TV, most of the time you're flipping through and there's nothing really ever good on for the most part. So it's kind of like, why even keep it? VHS on a 4-head player on an HDTV is an epic experience. Yeah. My wife does love Forged in Fire. I fall asleep to nachos and dope and shows like that I pass out to. Forged in Fire's got a nice little feel to it. Like right now I'm watching it. And they gotta make something. It looks like they gotta use to make the steel out of ball bearings, nails, some other miscellaneous type stuff. Bolts are in there. And that's gonna be basically the formation of how they make the blade for what's needed. The one thing I will say I like about Forged in Fire now is they have more women contestants as well. And when it first came out, it was like mostly all men, so they are definitely getting more women on there too. And the women are making some good shit on there. I got to get DC streaming again to watch Titans and the new Harley Quinn series. I heard DC was pretty good too. But as far as the movie, I heard Suicide 2 is going to have an R rating. So they're working on Suicide 2. They're going to step it up, so I guess it's going to be a little bit more crazier with the R rating on that movie. So people complain about the first Suicide Squad. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was all right for what it was supposed to be. Plus, I'm a fan of Harley Quinn and Margaret Robbie that played her. So that alone made me enough to hang in there and watch it. James said he cut out cable 10 years ago, except to watch Formula One racing. Which I would think you could probably get Formula One racing on your TV as well, or maybe like your phone or something too. I don't know if you would have to have cable to actually get that. Maybe you do, because you might be able to buy a package on something else. And Alan said we have a few systems we stream with. Make sure I didn't miss any other comments in here. But as far as this beer, I would definitely say if you're out there looking and you see this, You probably could pick it up. You might get a good deal on it as well right now because it wasn't the 25th anniversary was in 2018, and this baby does sit well, so you could sell her it. But I would definitely say if you like a dark Belgian ale, to definitely give that one a go. Titans and Doom Patrol are really good, and they have Justice League cartoons, the original Titan and DC animated. You know who really likes the DC channel is Redbeard. Redbeard, if you ever see his channel, he's big into that too, and he's been trying to get me to watch some of that stuff as well. But he talks about how good some of that stuff is on there. I got to go to the bottle store Friday to find Bourbon County. This batch of Enjoy has the candy element. It's pretty good. All right. I may pick that up this weekend to see what it tastes like and do a review on that one as well, Beer Hound. Yeah, our Kroger store here last year got Bourbon County. So when I picked up some stuff earlier today, I asked them when they're supposed to get it in on Friday, and they said they may not be getting it because usually they have it by now. I don't know. There's so many beers out there. If I don't get Bourbon County, it doesn't bother me. It's just like I didn't get it. So I feel like there's just so many other ones out there. I do like Bourbon County, but I'm not going to fret over if I don't have it as well. But my wife is in the TV shows. So we have Netflix, HBO, and Sling TV. And then Jeremy said, love that one, Alan, as well. Netflix is actually pretty solid to get because Netflix gets a lot of the replays from the Showtime shows and HBO and network, so you can catch up on a lot of stuff. You have to wait a while to watch the series, but that's not a bad one to have. 7 days old too, yeah. Well, you're right there in Southern Cal, so you were definitely able to benefit from that, Beer Hound. Jeremy is better than Founders, KBS, and CBS. Yeah, Bourbon County Stout is better than both of them for sure. And then Jeremy also agrees as well. And that's all I'm going to say about Founders because I felt like I've talked about Founders too much over the last month or so. Hulu is awesome. Yeah, my wife actually she gets Hulu for Handmaid's Tale, and I think that's the only one she gets it for. And then she binge watches it, and then she cancels it. But we also have Amazon, and we have Netflix, which at some point, I do want to sit down and watch The Man in the High Castle. I've heard all good things about that show, and I do want to watch it. And I got to finish watching The Boys on Amazon as well. Always watch ancient TV shows on Netflix. They have all the original Twilight Zone and Star Trek. Yeah, Netflix is about to lose a lot of content. Got Paramount and another big studio pulling stuff from their streaming services. Yeah, I mean they're going to lose some stuff, but they'll probably gain some stuff in some other spots too. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how all that stuff plays out. Yes, sir. Lucky 13 good stuff. Lucky 13 is actually a good one as well. Yeah, from Lagunitas. I do like that one too. And pound for pound, ounce for ounce, Lagunitas probably gives you one of the best values you can get for beer out there. For what you pay and what you receive, it's hard to beat Lagunitas there. We have too much LOL. YouTube TV, Sling, Disney, Plus, Netflix, and Hulu. That is a good amount. But if you add them all together, is it less than you paying cable? It probably is, right? Because if you got like the Netflix, the one that we got is like $8 or $9. I think Hulu is like, what, 7 or 8. Disney Plus is like, what, $7 or something. All of those together, you're probably less than a cable for a month. So Beer Hound, he's ready for Lucky 13 to come out for Lagunitas, which is a good one. Yeah, I tell people if you're ever, like, I know James, he's in Chicago, but if you ever go to Chicago, definitely check out Lagunitas Brewing when you're there. a nice little tour they actually do. And of course, if you're in California, you go to Petaluma and you can actually check it out. Lagunitas Lucky 13. Let me see when that comes out. The only one I know comes out is like Undercover, because that's always in February. We got big cost per room here in cable. I bundle Hulu with Spotify. Yeah. Hey, Rod, you eat ham on Thanksgiving? Actually, growing up, I was never a fan of turkey, really. So my grandmother used to make ham and turkey. So yeah, I've eaten ham on Thanksgiving as well. Actually, I prefer ham to turkey, but now I like turkey as well. I also like stuffing. I never liked stuffing when I was younger. Hey, James, thanks for swinging by, brother. Always good to talk with you. Have a good Thanksgiving tomorrow. Lots of cooking and drinking and cleaning and relaxing and sleeping, because you'll be sleeping after eating all that food. So have a great one, my friend, and we will catch up soon. Let me see here. Who was I looking for? Oh, Lucky 13. Let me see. Waldo's is another good beer from Lagunitas. If you ever see it, just pick it up when you see it, because you will not be disappointed. All right, let's see. Lucky 13. Lucky 13 comes out between January and March. So it'll be out January through March of 2020. It'll be now. Lagunitas is actually saying they're going to release it in 22 ounces or on tap. So you will have to get the bomber for that one, it looks like. Are you cooking on Thanksgiving? No, we are actually going out for dinner tomorrow. So we're going to a place that's like a steakhouse, but they have a Thanksgiving meal that they're actually doing. So turkey and ham and all the other stuff. We put brown sugar, pineapple juice, and cherry juice on our ham when the wife cooks it. Ooh. Juicy. I got no complaints about that. Oh yes, that one is unreal. Good Waldo. Yeah, the Waldo is the bomb. So whenever you find Waldo, pick it up. It's kind of like, if you see it, don't think you can come back and get it later. No, you got to buy it at that point. But yeah, but if you're looking for Lucky 13 come January, pick those bad boys up. Oh yeah, definitely, my friend. Yeah, definitely. Good looking out for sure. We have our next big beer festival here. It actually got moved to March. It'll be March 7th and 8th. Usually Lagunitas comes down, so hopefully they'll come down. I'll catch up with them at that one. But that one, we have 500 plus beers. No way you can get through all the beers. And you talk about how you have to plan your stuff out to go to a beer festival. You have to plan it out to make sure you get the good stuff. So, yeah, January, Jeremy. January through March. Stock up. That is really a good, nice little sit-in beer. Just to sit and chill. At 25. I like you. Now, if you happen to see this one out there, you can probably find it at a pretty good deal, since it was a 2018 version, hopefully. I did the 22 I mentioned earlier, but I did not do the 23 and 24, so I like to try to check it out. Each year they've done the anniversary, they've done different styles. So when I did the 22, that was actually a wild ale. This was a Belgian style ale. Don't know what the 23 and 24 were, but they were something a little different. The new Hop Slam coming soon. Hop Slam isn't that usually... I think that's usually off until the spring as well, or the end of winter. Let me see. Last year we had a ton of Hop Slam that was just sitting in our Kroger. People just weren't buying it. And my opinion on Hop Slam, I think it's kind of like CBS and KBS, where it's kind of overrated. There's a lot of other beers out there that are just as good and a better value for what you would actually pay on it. But that's just my take. Damn, 500. I have to try them all and I'd be in trouble. 500 what? I might have missed something there, Jeremy. We still have plenty of brown sugar and Born here yesterday in OC. Yeah, brown sugar really good. One of my favorites. Too pricey, that's the reason. Well, it's pricey, but at the same point, where it's at on a price level, a few years ago, it wasn't really bad for what you were getting, but the competition has come out with so many other beers that are comparable at a lower price. That's what really makes it stand out against the Hop Slam. Yeah, I've been drinking the shit out of brown sugar. Hard to beat that one. Let me see what Bell's is here. I'll see what the Hop Slam comes out. One of these days, I'm going to send you Jeremy and Blake some Westbrook beers. Westbrook, I can actually get Westbrook. I haven't done reviews with them yet, but I can get them here. And I've actually had some Westbrook before. I just need to go out and get some more. Westbrook did some solid stuff. And that double two-hearted ale that Bell's came out with this year that was really good if you got a chance to taste that. Hop Slam. Yeah, Hop Slam is January and February, Hans. So January, you should start seeing Hop Slam hit the market. To be honest, brown sugar at $11, just as good as Enjoy by at $16. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So Lagunitas' value is so good, it's comparable versus a lot of breweries out there, and it's hard to pass them up on a lot of stuff. Westbrook, my favorite brewery. I'll put them against anyone. Westbrook is solid. I got no complaints against Westbrook. But I'm going to take a break here for a second because I do have to hit the bathroom. So talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'll be right back. drink enough beer, you got to pay the piper at some point. So, I saw your comment there, Beer Hound. No Cleveland Browns being dropped off, son. Beer Hound, hell, I even get the money. I'll send you some 2 for reviews. That's funny. Han says his favorite brewery is actually Stone. Let me go back up here. Let's see. Han said, what is my daily driver, your go-to beer on the average day? I don't have one. I actually don't have one. And what I'm actually doing, I mean, one of my things is I want to try as many different beers that I can try. So I never really come back to that same beer after I tried it for the most part. Now, occasionally, it might be something where I pick up like a 6-pack because that's the only way I can get it. Like tonight, when I went out shopping earlier, I picked up a 6-pack of a beer from Platform because there was no individual. It was on sale. It was a good deal. But I don't have like a daily drive-in beer that I go to. I like to try the different styles that are out there. The closest thing I can say is there are some things I come back and I try seasonally. For instance, when it's spring, one of the first beers I'll crack is an Oberon. Like Bell's Oberon to me signals that spring is actually here. At some point, I'll pick up like a Sierra Nevada Celebration in the next couple of weeks because that's like my Christmas type beer. But I don't have a daily drive-in beer that I actually go to. Favorite brewery would be in Stone and Beer Hound. Get the money since reviews. For sober, I'll review the shit out of them. Stone has a bitterness to every beer I've tried. It's good but bitter. Stone does. There's some other ones that are kind of a little bit down in the bitter. I think the one of them was. I mean, there are IPAs like the Delicious IPA is still gonna have a little bit of bitterness as an IPA, but the bitterness is toned down. If you get the Czechoslovakia, maybe I'm getting a little bit of a buzz right now. But if you get that one from Stone, I think you would like that one, Alan, and that one's not going to have any bitterness at all because it's a stout from them. Or if you get the Woo Stout, the Woo Stout is pretty decent. How about Sierra Nevada Bigfoot? I've actually got the ginger version of the Bigfoot and another Bigfoot downstairs. Let me take a look here on my Untapped. Which, if you guys don't have Untapped, it's actually a pretty cool app for your beer tracking. And they added a list feature, which allows you to track the beers you actually have on hand, which is awesome. And they actually added another feature that shows your average rating you give to beers. Yeah, so the one I have downstairs is the Big H Bigfoot with ginger. Haven't done that one yet. 11.4 ABV. Special version. Fresh ginger added into the barrels, resulting kick of ginger mellows Bigfoot's ferocious hot bite. Adds a new level of brightness and complexity. Notes of burnt sugar, orange zest, vanilla, and candied ginger. So I need to do a review on that one at some point. If you can find Highland Cold Mountain, get it. Phenomenal winner. Yes, I've had Cold Mountain, and I was second what Alan said there. That is a good beer to actually pick up if you see it, which is out this time. I think the one I got last time was in a 22-ounce bomber. Not sure they do it in 6-packs, but if you can find a Cold Mountain, it's definitely a solid beer. Stout from Stone was the best I had. And then the Woo Stout. Yeah, so the Woo Stout is the one I just did a review on recently. And that one was actually pretty damn good. So I just wish they would bring back the Mocha IPA. If you never had the Mocha IPA from Stone, when they released it previously, it was pretty much like an IPA and stout combination. So if you like those two styles, it was a great merging of the two together. It was just pretty damn solid. So, but they stopped making it last year, which kind of pissed me off. But who knows? Things change. Sometimes things come back. I think I can get that, Alan, and I'm gonna look for that. Yeah, that's they're out of North Carolina. Solid brewery. It's kind of like that's one of the spots I want to go to on the East Coast is Asheville and around North Carolina area because there's so much good beer coming out of that region. You know, you talk about Asheville, you talk about like Portland and out in Oregon, you talk about Southern Cal, like where Beer Hound is down around San Diego. I mean, just so many spots around the country that have good beer. You know, and here even we may not have the total number of breweries at other places, but Cincinnati is getting a lot of press now for being basically the spot in the Midwest to actually try some beer. We have a lot of good beer coming out of this area. Most people don't realize this, but the beer that's made for Sam Adams through Boston Beer, the majority of the beers are made here in Cincinnati as well. So definitely some stuff worth checking out. Call the brewery Rajay and tell them to bring the mocha back for no sponsor for the Ravens Roddy J. I don't have that much pull, Hans. I mean, I wish I did. I was bummed out when that happened, but I just pulled up my Facebook page and it said, remembering Jimi Hendrix. Today would have been his 77th birthday. Wow. Jimi Hendrix would have been 77 today. That's incredible. There's a guy with a lot of talent. Straight up Sammy is good. I guess technically on the East Coast, we are on Thanksgiving Day. It's 12:30 in the East. Jimmy was a pimp. Jimmy was a pimp. Yeah, I think today, since today is actually in the East, it's Thanksgiving already. At some point, I'm going to get with the wife. We're going to watch The Irishman on Netflix. Because I love a good Martin Scorsese movie. And the fact that he's got like Pacino, De Niro, and Pesci all in one film, it's like, oh, I'm sold. I'm automatically sold on it. So looking forward to watching that later today. I think growing up in New Jersey, I've been kind of influenced to really like a lot of mob movies. Don't know why. Love Hendrix, and he was the best, and still to this day. Yeah, Hendrix was phenomenal. It's like, it's kind of interesting though. People try to do the list of like, you know, top 5 guitarists or something like that, and everything. And there's been so many guitarists. Like, how do you get it into that 5? It's so hard to limit it down. Like, you know, you may have a Hendrix out there. You may have a lot of the other. It's just, it's almost even unfathomable to actually try to come up with who will be the top 5 in it. But Jimmy was a bad man. He was he played the licks, and Prince was a bad man too. Prince could play about anything on the guitar, and Prince would do guitar, piano. He could play multiple instruments. And I think of someone like a Jeff Healey who was good, Eric Clapton who was a good guitarist. I mean, a lot of good players over the years. So hopefully everybody watching is off work tomorrow. I know some people unfortunately have to work for some of the different stores and stuff, but be a nice day to just kick back, relax, and being Thanksgiving, I say to give thanks, I guess. So as a guitar guitarist for 30 years. Hendrix makes sense why he's the best. Alex Skolnick is the only guitarist to come close. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy was phenomenal stuff, but like, you see Jimmy do stuff, and it was in all what he could do. But, you know, you have like someone like a Santana who does great stuff with guitars as well. And I don't know, anything that makes anybody better than anybody else is actually a personal preference, right? So it's not like you're having like a battle between the two. It's just the talent level is just so high. It's just, I don't know. For me, I would say Jimmy's in my top 5 of guitars. I'd always feel like Santana would be in there as well. But it's all a matter of preference at a point. But that's always the thing with lists anyway. That's what makes them always debatable. People always debate their positions on stuff. Van Halen was so great. Yeah, Van Halen was great too. And I was thinking about him in the back of my mind with Van Halen. And like with him, Clapton. And then you had other people that were like, what do you do with the blues artists, right? Like a B.B. King, you know, who can make his thing hum. Bo Diddley, things like that too. Would they be in a separate category, or would it be still under guitars? It's just a tough call, regardless. It's like every year when they do the new entries to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up in Cleveland, you're like, this person got in, but how did this person not get in? You know, it's like I always feel like there's somebody being missed. But the ultimate guitar is really slow. Oh, not Wheezy, not Little Wheezy. You said Little Wayne? What? Yeah, it's interesting. Blues is a separate category of blues. There's too much talent in the genre. Yeah, that's what I mean. But if they're playing guitars, and you're going to say the ultimate guitars, how do you cut the blues people out? Because blues is right there as well. I think Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers pretty awesome. I agree, Erie. That's another person I thought of as too. You know, Flea does a great job. It's just like, how do you break these people down to say who's the top of anything? What about Slash from Guns N' Roses? He's a good guitarist too, so he's done a lot of good tracks and good licks. Speaking of Guns N' Roses, man, it's like I saw the new Guns N' Roses update. I'm like, man, Axl really did get fat, I guess. So, which we all put on weight as we get older. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, most of the celebrities try to monitor that shit, and like Axl just didn't give a fuck. Chuck Berry is the Rock, yeah. Chuck Berry, yeah, he strummed the guitar. Yeah, so it's just funny. I do enjoy music, though. Music is just that great art form. You just kick back, relax, you listen to stuff. Music has that power to relax and soothe and all kinds of stuff. I guess it can maybe rile you up a little bit too, but it's just great. Just just sit there. I mean, that's why growing up I had such a fondness of it. It was just like my earliest moment, and developed an appreciation from it. It's great. It's great storytelling. It's great thing to relate to. Music for me is probably the most sincere art form that I actually enjoy. I can go on with music. I am a former pro. Oh, that's pretty solid. So did you like tour everything around the country, Beer Hound, and stuff like that too? Or like in the studios, you were doing a lot of stuff? Music is therapy. For some people, it definitely is, for sure. You know, there are certain things, you know, you put on music and music can get you through different moods or different times in your life at points. I mean, it's kind of like people can turn to it and it has a therapeutic way with it, for sure, that helps you to adjust to some of that stuff. Like, there are certain songs you'll put on and you'll listen to them and you'll feel good, or they'll tug at your emotions in some kind of way. I mean, that's just what the goodness of music can do. Exactly, relaxing. Yeah. How doing music reaction because I enjoy watching them is why I move my focus. I will still do it, but I won't be 3 videos a day of music reactions. It'll be 1 music and 2 electric. You can ride an electric vehicle out, my friend, which is fine. It's working. Yeah. It's played in Lahore, Pakistan, representing USA, the world of performing arts show, etc. My fit, all that fun stuff. Oh, that's pretty awesome. MTV video, cool. Like your background music. Oh, thanks. Well, I mean, and if you guys aren't aware of the channel, the channel is MU, Free Music for YouTube. Found the channel like, I don't know, a year or 2 ago, and they actually come out with different tracks that you can actually use on YouTube, royalty free. You know, you just kind of drop in the description, a comment, you know, that the music is provided by them. But pretty cool. And they come up with tracks like every few months on different stuff. So if you ever want to check out that channel, definitely check out MU. And let me pull it up here, make sure I know. Channel is MU, Free Original Music. So if you have a YouTube channel, you can actually relax and put them on there. If you want to listen to relaxing music, make sure you just check out the channel. I'll make a song about electric vehicles and you can review it. There you go, Alan. Avery's got some homework for you. Driving in my electric car. Rod, the reactions and the comments from folks in electric vehicles. People are hungry for someone who's a workman, everyday person viewpoint, electric truck and vehicles. Yeah, I mean, that's what, you know. People get tired of the corporate BS, I would say, on stuff. So when you're able to provide that and they see you as someone that's not part of that corporate structure, it works. And people are interested in that. It's kind of like when I do the beer stuff, when I would go to beer festivals and I volunteer and I serve beer, I would have more people coming up to me asking me about stuff at a point rather than the people that actually worked for the beer company, because they want somebody from an outside perspective on how they would actually break it down, which is cool that they actually do that and stuff. But it was like, it's kind of like, don't give me the company line. Tell me what you think about it, how you would use it. He's cruising down the street in my electric car. She's working on the song already. I've had someone tell me their go-to Cybertruck channel. Another be like, dude, you're what's needed. Keep putting this content out. You're the best I've seen. It's overwhelming. And never seen that doing beer reviews. LMAO. Yeah, it's a matter of, I don't know. It's a matter of how deep you get into it. Like I can say, from my perspective, when I've done some of the beer reviews, I've gotten responses similar to that. Depending on how much you're putting into it and everything along those lines. Like, I think versus other beer channels out there, like for me, I do research. Like I read different beer materials. I've made beer. I get more involved on it. And I think that comes through a little bit more. And what you're doing with the cars, you're reviewing and you're getting involved in it. And that's why it's coming through that way as well. So as long as you're passionate and honest about it, I think people will love it for it. And that's what you want to have on your channel. So no, keep doing what you're doing for sure. Keep doing what I'm doing. I'm drinking some beer. What's up, yo? What's up? Let's see. We're about 12:45 in the East right now. Probably should go ahead and wrap it down here in a little bit. But I think I'm going to actually jump over and check out Beerman for a bit. I told him I'd stop by his stream. Beerman is actually broadcasting. He's 3 hours behind, so for him it's only 9:45 in Oregon. But if you haven't checked out Beerman, make sure you check him out as well. But a solid beer, again, from Avery Brewing, the 25th anniversary edition. Check them out. Avery's doing good beers, even if they're technically not a craft brewery anymore, because they're owned by Mal San Miguel, the same company that owns Founders. The beers are solid. They've been left alone. So, oh shit, Maple Rooski, what's going on, my friend? It has been a long time. Cheers, buddy. And Jeremy says, drink up. So Maple Rooski, another beer channel. He's actually put some different stuff out, some good things you can check out there if you haven't joined Maple's channel. Hopefully you've been doing well. I know Maple Rooski's also a big fan of World of Tanks. So if you like the World of Tanks game, you can actually check out his channel too. Beerman is playing Cards Against Humanity versus himself. Funny as heck. I bet it is. Well, I'll be honest. Now that I'm reading more about electric vehicles, researching more, and just taking an objective look, to be honest, electric cars are the future, the value over combustion engine. Yeah, they actually are. Like I said, Alan, if you get a chance, I think you can pull it up on YouTube. But the documentary "Who Killed the Electric Car," definitely recommend checking it out. I know we talked about it the other night when we were together. Great documentary. Talks about the electric car. We were actually here back in the 90s, and we were set to move forward with it until the oil companies pretty much put the kibosh on it. But a great documentary that kind of covers that, and that people don't realize, like Saturn had all these electric cars that were out there, and people were loving them, and they made them recall them all so you could just destroy them. So, great documentary to check out. The problem will be, though, with the electric cars, what to actually do with the batteries and all that stuff in the future, though, if you have everybody doing it, because that's going to be another concern that they're actually facing right now. What do you do with this as far as waste, and how you get rid of it in a safe type manner? Hey, right, you like eating a rack of ribs and having that now? Who doesn't like a nice rack of ribs? Yeah, that's awesome. I actually had some ribs the other night. Maple, I've been good. Thanks for the plug. Niagara College for the brewmaster and brewery operation. Oh, nice. So you're actually going through the brewery program, going well, learning a lot about beer and the industry as a whole. That's awesome. See, that's what it's all about. I mean, putting in the time, putting in the effort, putting in the research, whatever way that you can do it, that you can learn more about it. That just brings more of that credential to your channel and more reason why people should definitely check it out. Like I said, if you haven't seen Maple Ruski, hit the 3 buttons next to his name. Go to his channel, subscribe, check him out. He's always sharing beer stuff. He's been in this for a bit of time, so he's always looking to grow. Just reach out to him. It's a great channel. You know, he's basically along that path to become like the brewmaster or working brewery operations and going through a program. So you're going to get good knowledge out of his channel as well. Erie says, our kids have electric cars outside. You've been one in one. Find the charge. And then Jeremy said, that's cool, Maple. And Han said, from Friday. Oh, you get the ribs from Fridays, huh? Fridays is all right. You probably got the Jack Daniel ribs if you went there. Tesla is making batteries right now that last over 5 million miles and go a lot farther between chargers. Yeah. Why did you roll your eyes at Erie? What did Erie do? Did you roll your eyes at her? Miles said, I'm never tried beer. I'm 23. I'm just curious. Is it worth all the hype? Beer is what it is. I mean, beer is an acquired taste. It's a matter of if you like it. I know I have a younger nephew who likes it here and there, but he doesn't really like to drink it as much, which is fine. It's something that's a little bit different. It depends. There's different styles, Miles, so it's a matter of what you actually might feel. Alan says, if you don't drink, don't start. Look at Alan trying to be the good angel here. Well, Alan is probably drinking a beer. Don't ever feel pressured like you have to drink beer, Miles. I mean, it's a choice, and I enjoy beer. I've drank beer since, I don't know, first time I had a beer or a full beer, I don't know, 13, 14 or whatever, but it's a matter of, you know, preference. So don't feel the peer pressure at all. Jeremy's laughing at Alan's comment. It's like, is beer worse than actually having a cigarette? I don't know. A cigarette's pretty bad. Beer can be pretty bad, but we all take risks. I don't know. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm used to risks in my life, so I've taken risks for a long time now. We used to ride bikes without helmets, son. Oh, well, that's cool. Maple says, thanks, Jeremy. I hope I can bring beer to your area one day. And I always say there's a beer for everyone. It's such a diverse style of drink. Yeah, it is. We talked about it earlier before you joined, Maple. I mentioned, like, when someone says they don't like beer, it's like, really, what kind of beer have you had before? There's so many different types. And I've had people that said they didn't like beer that I've shared beer with. They end up liking different styles. So, you know, it's not a one thing. It's just this, and this is all it is. Beer is very diverse on the different styles and different flavors, the different textures, the different feeling you get between them all. So that is what beer is. Oh. But that all being said, I think Paul's back in the house. What's happened? I've always enjoyed the number series of brews. Yeah, so I don't know if you've had this one, Paul, the Avery 25, but it's definitely good. I think you would like this one. Belgian style dark ale, honey, dates, and raisins. And guess what? It's not thin. It's not thin. It's got a nice body on it. I think you would like this one, Paul. So I don't know if you've had the Avery 25, but I would definitely say check it out if you do see it there. I I picked that up a while ago and finally decided to go ahead and crack that baby open. That's from the 2018 edition. So this year will be the 26th edition. Yeah, great interpretation of Belgian brews. Yeah, but you know I love my Belgians, so he did a good job on this one here for the style and everything. A nice little dark ale for sure. Like I said, people will knock Avery because they're technically not a craft brewery now, but you know what? They still make good beers, so I still enjoy them from time to time. Make some big ass ABV beers too, so if you get Avery, just be careful. Some of their beers may knock you on your ass. Just saying. Yeah, it was definitely good. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get this baby wrapped up. We're approaching the 1 a.m. hour here in the East. I think I'll make it an hour in of Call of Duty or something on the other channel. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. Check out everybody in the chat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. It was great having you along for the ride here. And I definitely look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Yeah, the bigger ABV, the better, right? And I will catch up with you later on. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass